All right, boys, I got a question for you. Do you like exotics? Do you like Ascendant shards to masterwork those exotics? Do you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you answered yes. In fact, I bet you answered yes to all of those questions. Well, boys, do I have a video for you. Today, I'm going to be giving you all the absolute best exotic farm to date. I'm talking every 15 to 20 minutes, you'll get an exotic along with an Ascendant shard with enhancement prisms. I mean, what more could you want? What more could you want? I mean, I guess not waiting till November to get new content, but that's besides the point. But before we do get started, if you're new and only if you enjoy the videos, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Also, my Twitch, twitch.tv/myfi with an underscore at the end is where you can find me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I do raid help on all platforms. So if that sounds interesting, then come on out. But do you know what's better than raid help? The sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, if you were anything like me, then you grew up playing Pokemon. Now, for me, I haven't really ever found something to scratch that itch of collecting characters, making a team, and destroying the competition until now. With Raid Shadow Legends, you have almost 500, yes, 500 champions at your disposal to collect, level up, and strategically make into teams to take into battle. Now, how do you obtain some of these champions, you might ask? Well, the best ways is via shards. Now, if you get a champion via a shard you want, then you can keep it and level it up. But if it's one that you don't want, well, it's not going to go to waste because you can just turn it into food, which you can then use to upgrade your current champions. So let's go ahead and open some shards. Acolyte, for example, here has over 121 reviews from other players, so I can know how he performs before I even use him. Then we have War Priest, which has an attack that gives all allies 25% damage increase to attack for 2 turns. Then finally, Judicator, which has some awesome attacks, but in my opinion, it just looks super cool. I decided all 3 of these characters I'll keep as they'll be great additions to my team. Honestly, one of my favorite things about Raid is its team building aspect. I can set out to build a team that will be good against certain bosses. I can then add and remove champions from it to better cater toward my own playstyle. Now, there's a lot of new stuff they've just added and more stuff coming in the future. One of the coolest things is the ability to get specific champions that you want via champion fragments, where you collect pieces of that champion that allows you to summon it. There's also things like daily login rewards up to 270 days, a new bazaar where you can load up on high value items with the gold bars you win in Tag Arena, and much more. It's been a crazy month for updates, so there's never been a better time to start playing. Now, you can find your boy in-game under the name The Big Beefy Boy, and if you're quick enough, you can even join my clan. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you will get 100,000 silver, plus 1 energy refill, plus 10 mystery shards, plus 1 free champion slasher. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, so good luck, and I will see you in-game. Once again, I would like to thank Raid for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get into the best exotic farm that we have ever seen in Destiny 2. So as we all know, one of the best ways to get exotics, Ascendant shards, and enhancement prisms is via the Ordeal Nightfall. Now, there is always an Ordeal Nightfall available, but what makes it a farmable Nightfall is whether that Nightfall can be speed ran in a reasonable time. The Corrupted, for example, is not worth farming because it cannot be speed ran within a reasonable time because, well, it's the Corrupted. Now, this week's Ordeal Nightfall is the Lake of Shadows, and I have made a video in the past when it was the Ordeal Nightfall telling you all how good it was for farming exotics. But what makes the one this week even better is the fact that it is now available on Grandmaster difficulty. If you all do not know, whenever an Ordeal Nightfall is completed on Grandmaster difficulty, you are guaranteed an Ascendant shard, along with what I would say around a 90% chance of an exotic. Sometimes your exotic will even come in the form of another Ascendant shard, so you end up getting 2 golf balls, which to me sounds pretty good. Not to mention, you also get guaranteed enhancement prisms. Now, getting started with this Ordeal Nightfall, you will need a total of 3 people, a fire team of 3, and you will all need to be at level 1075. The best strat my team and I found was 2 Warlocks and 1 Titan. The 2 Warlocks should be using Well of Radiance with Phoenix Protocol to pretty much ensure they will never not have their Well of Radiance. Then the Titan should be using Top Tree Sentinel for Bubble with Helm of Saint 14 for the ability to blind any enemies that might enter the bubble. Also, because a Titan is on a Void subclass, then they should also be using the Oppressive Darkness mod along with Magnetic Grenades. Now for the loadouts, and none of these loadouts are restricted to a certain class, so whoever wants to use it can. You can probably already guess what I'm about to say, but it still stands as the best Nightfall loadout combo. Good old Izanagi and Divinity. 2 players should be using Izanagi's Burden with Catalyst, and 1 player should be using Divinity. Now, all 3 players, for their power weapon, should be using Falling Guillotine with the Whirlwind Blade perk on it. Now, this Nightfall contains Overload and Unstoppable champions, so you're going to need some weapons that can take care of those. For the first person using Izanagi's Burden, they should be using a weapon that can equip the Unstoppable mod, so something like an energy hand cannon can definitely take care of that. And if it happens to be arc, then that's even better, as this Nightfall is filled with arc shielded enemies. Now, the second person using Izanagi's Burden should be using a weapon that is capable of overloading champions. I would recommend a bow here. It does high crit damage, and the only overload champions in this strike are taken hobgoblins, which are best handled at range, and what better weapon than a bow to do so. Then finally, the person running Divinity, because their Divinity can naturally disrupt overload champions, should be using a weapon capable of staggering unstoppable champions. I recommend either a hand cannon or a pulse, as both have access to unstoppable mods, but both are fine and it is entirely up to you. Now let's talk about mods, and here I will keep it simple. Make sure both Izanagi users are running Sniper Ammo Finder and Sniper Ammo Scavenger. Also, Charge with Light mods like Protective Light are huge here, as a lot of things can 1 or 2 shot you. Also, any Taken mods you might have acquired from the Last Wish raid are also really good, especially Taken Barrier. And finally, make sure everyone is using Special Finisher so no one will be without ammo. Now, let's get into how to run this strike. As soon as you spawn in, you all should immediately hop on your Sparrow and skirt by all the enemies until you reach where the strike begins. Once you have all reached the room that has the courtyard with the Taken Blight and enemies in front of it, you should all stop. From here, your first priorities should be to start taking out the Taken Phalanxes. They have arc shields. Make sure you are shooting the Axion darts before they get inside the room, as they will one-shot you. Once everything is dead outside of the Taken Blight, then you should turn your focus on your first unstoppable champion. Remember, your goal here is to get platinum for the best loot, so you will have to kill all champions. Once you hit the unstopped champ with the good old Izzy Div combo and take out the Blight, you should move forward. Now, don't move too fast, as right up the road, there will be your second champion, this time an overload champion. Take it out and progress just a little more forward. Here you will be rushed by 2 unstoppable champions. Feel free to backtrack as much as possible to prevent anyone from dying. Once both have been taken down, you can move forward and destroy the Blight. Once the Blight has been destroyed, directly in front of you, there will be an overload champion. Once that champ has been dealt with, you will arrive at a massive courtyard with 2 unstoppable champions, a few Taken Knights, and a Taken Blight. Take your time and use cover as much as possible. This is where I would recommend using a Well of Radiance, not for the protection, but instead for the damage increase it provides to make taking down enemies a little bit more easy. Once everything has been dealt with and the Taken Blight destroyed, you will notice a group of enemies spawn right next to you, and they are blocking your path. There will be a yellow health bar enemy with an arc shield and 2 overload champions behind him, along with other adds as well. Take cover and immediately focus on the yellow health bar. A Divinity should whip his shield off in just a few seconds, and then from there, it should only take a ×4 honed Izzy shot to the dome to take him down. From there, clean up the adds and take down the overload champions in the back. Once everything is dead, you may progress to the next room. The next room does not contain champions, but does contain 3 Taken captains who will mess you up if you're not careful. Also, there are Taken boops, if you will, on the wall that really hurt, so be mindful of those. The best way to deal with captains is to have both of the warlocks spamming solar grenades to take the solar shields down, then an Izzy shot to the head will more than likely do the trick. Once you and your team are at the bottom of the room, you can progress through the tunnel, but before you do, you should know that there will be 2 unstoppable champions waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. My team and I would bait both the champions into the tunnel to make quick work of them. Once both champions are dealt with, then you can safely exit the tunnel. There will be tons of adds along with a wanted enemy. You should deal with the adds while letting the wanted enemy escape. Do not fight the wanted enemy, it's a waste of your time. Once the wanted enemy has escaped, you can press forward. You will get about halfway across the bridge, then jump up on a ledge just in front of an overload champion. Take that champion down, then immediately look down and a little bit ahead of you. There you will see another overload champion. Take it out. Once the champion has been taken care of, you will need to jump down and head to the left side passage of the bridge, if you will. Here you will see 2 champions tucked away behind a pillar and a yellow health bar Taken enemy. Take them out by either staggering or disrupting them, then dealing with them from across the gap. Once you have taken care of all the enemies, then you can advance across the bridge. Upon progressing into the next room, there will be 2 champions, an unstoppable and an overload. Take both of them out and clear the adds while progressing up to the top of the room. Once at the top of that room and at the entrance to the next room, have somebody ready with their falling guillotine. Clear as many adds in the room before entering. Once you enter, someone should hug the left side of the wall while someone else takes the wizard in the back of the room's aggro. A heavy attack will destroy the wizard's shield and stun it to give you enough time for a few more light sword attacks to finish it off. From here, continue progressing and clearing adds. You are now at the final room before the boss. Take out the Overload Champion at the entrance of the room, then clear all the adds. Once all the adds are dead, you will now be in the hallway leading to the boss room. There, you will find 2 Overload Champions. Take care of them both, progress up the little inclined path, and drop down into the boss room. Once in the boss room, the boss fight will not start until the adds have been killed and the blight destroyed. Once you destroy the blight, you should place a Well of Radiance directly where the blight was. The boss will spawn inside of the Well of Radiance. From here, the Titan should stick the boss with an Oppressive Darkness grenade and everyone should start sorting the boss. The boss should die in around 15 seconds. Once the boss is dead, the Titan should bubble to protect everyone until the Nightfall completes and you are awarded your loot. Congratulations! You have now completed the easiest Grandmaster and walked away with some exotic loot, only taking you around 15 to 20 minutes. And there we go. At the time of this video going live, you will only have until Tuesday at reset to farm this. So what are you waiting for? Get to farming. If you want to see this farm being done live and in action, then you can head on over to my Twitch where I will be farming it every day until the reset this Tuesday. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I need you to comment the word golf ball in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, then feel free to slap a like on it and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.